Listen, Wavy Bagels.
Hi, this is T.
It's Joey.
And Quana.
Welcome to Views from the Chixx, a music podcast where we discuss music as it pertains to everyday life.
Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to Views from the Chixx. It's T, and I'm here with...
It's Joey, and I'm here with...
You're here with Quana. Hey, ladies. Hi. It's been a minute since we've been together.
I know.
Yes. Welcome back, T. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hope you had
How was
a
your
good
trip?
Trip was very good. I went to like 3 different time zones. Went to 2 different continents. No, same continent. No, China, Thailand, then Bangladesh. It was really crazy. A long trip, long travel, busy, long nights, late night, early mornings, late nights. It's very exhausting, but it was a learning experience, and I was grateful for the opportunity to go overseas. I've never been to Asia, so it was really cool.
Nice.
But yes.
Still trying to catch up with the sleep.
It's actually tomorrow there now, and I'm waking up at crazy hours, so I haven't adjusted my sleep yet. But then it's funny thing, I'll be going back to Asia in 2 weeks.
That's
again.
true.
So I don't know if I should really get used to this.
Stay on the time.
Yeah, but yeah, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yes.
Doing good.
Getting ready for my trip as well.
Yes, you're going to Tulum?
Yes.
Whoop,
I'll
whoop.
be in Mexico, so I'm so excited. My first time. So I'm going for a birthday trip.
Yes, birthday trip.
Yes, so I'm
All about the
excited.
birthdays.
30s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to just get a little bit of rest. You know, mommy needs her rest. Been preparing the family, like, I'll be going, talking to my daughter. I let her know mommy's going to go on a trip.
Yes.
And she's like, I want to come too. And I'm like, next time we'll go on a trip together, but this time it's just for me.
Yes.
Make that very clear.
Yeah. And she was like, okay. And I said, I'll bring something back. And she was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Cool.
Understood.
Understood. Yeah. See you later.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yes. I've been 30 for
A week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks? No. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
About 2 weeks.
I haven't really gotten even time to think about it, so.
You still trying to get some sleep.
I'm still trying to get sleep. I don't even feel 30. I don't know what 30 feels like, but here I am. I'm in
Yes.
it. So, yes.
So why are we here today?
So we're here today because we're here to talk about the controversial music festival, Fyre Fest.
It was meant to be fire. Yes.
Put out, kaput. But we have a special guest with us here today because he was also featured on one of the documentaries, the Hulu documentary. There's 2 documentaries that came out there, one on Hulu and one on Netflix. And he was featured on the Hulu documentary. We have Felix Vargas here with us. He is event coordinator, events curator, business owner, multi-talented, multifaceted entrepreneur at large. So, hey, Felix.
Hey.
Hi.
Good. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes.
For the record, I've been 31.
Yeah.
Almost 32.
Okay.
Yes.
You'll see.
I mean, I will tell you, I never had no gray hair before, but like leading up to
You got a gray hair.
I have mad gray hair.
You do? But that was
gray
like
hair.
my coming of age moment. I was like, shit. There's no edge control that can handle this gray hair. I'm telling y'all.
It's like you ain't about to try to get rid of me like this.
No, I'm here forever. In Cardi B voice, forever.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, enough
what it
about
is.
our gray hair. Thank you for joining us. So please, before we get into the topic at hand, let us know a little bit about yourself and what you do, what you are a part of. Plug yourself.
Oh, Lord.
We got time. Don't worry.
Where do I begin? I mean, I'm an event professional, first and foremost.
Okay.
I co-founded Curated Vibes Group with Catherine, which is how we all
Yes,
know each
Cat's
other.
our girl.
Yeah.
And then a little backstory. So Felix and Catherine, they curated our first event
Yes.
with the EQ session.
Yes, they did.
It's been almost a year now. A year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since
wow,
we
yeah.
did it. Almost a year. It was like an anniversary. Yes. And they were pivotal in helping our event become successful. So if y'all out there in the NYC, New Jersey area need
'em up.
someone to curate your
Yes,
event.
just basically handling everything that you just don't think about when you're
Yeah.
running an event. Just
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
the all the details that you're just
just
like,
don't think
oh,
about.
who's going to be at the door? Where are the drinks? And what are you going
Right,
to do?
yeah.
And how are people going to come in? And what time? And yeah, things that you're just like, oh, yes,
Yes.
This is why people don't like planning things.
Yes,
Right.
that's why you hire people.
Yes.
Definitely a job.
Yes.
It definitely is. It's the 5th most stressful job in the world.
Really?
Wow.
Event planning.
I
Event
see.
planner, yeah.
I see why.
Oh, it's
yeah.
bad.
I can
Honestly,
understand.
It's bad.
You see all this gray hair?
Yeah. That's why one is trying to poke through. Yeah.
Was that always what piqued that interest into event curating?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I'm from Dominican. My parents are Dominican. I was born in New York. But my first language was Spanish. I didn't want to learn English. Went to school, was in bilingual class. Finally time to go to high school. And I went to a vocational school. I went for aviation, but the aviation program closed. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go for hospitality management because it's hospitals. Not realizing hospitality was
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm like, no, I'm Dominican. I don't know. Hospital,
Hospital,
all
yes,
that.
same thing.
Right. So I ended up in the hospitality program in high school, not realizing
That it was-
culinary and all
Yes.
this other stuff. And
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
All right, well then I'm here. I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm a little stupid. Yeah.
Wow.
But it worked.
Yeah.
It's what I like. Like,
But you fell into it and you're good at it.
I'm really good. I mean, not. To
He about
toot my
to-
own
he's
horn,
like,
but
right
I'm
now.
really
No,
good at it.
if you know, you know.
You know, and I worked in restaurants for many years. One of my favorite jobs is being a server.
Okay.
I love it. You make a lot of money if
Okay.
you do it right, and it's just there's an art form there. So I love that, and then I little by little started doing events here and there. Started my own events company when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
Right out of high school, and did a number of events there, not realizing how successful I was at the time. I kind of just said, all right, I don't want to do this anymore, and I let that go. Did a couple of corporate jobs, and then went on to work with a very high-end event designer, Mark Wilson. And from there, my career just kind of took off. I've done events for J-Lo. I've done events for Magic Johnson, for Wendy
dope.
Williams,
Yeah.
for Essence Magazine,
Wow.
Apollo Theater. You know, so I've been around. I'm still young, but I've been around.
So you've been around.
Yes. Yeah. So you have
Dope.
and plenty more to go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So at a young age, knowing that you wanted to start your own business, like what advice would you give to someone who's looking to go down that path?
As cliche as it's gonna sound, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I had a conversation yesterday, actually. We were out to brunch, and I was talking to my brother and his partner. And his partner's a little skeptical about a lot of things. And I'm like, get rid of that skepticism. That will stop you, and it'll hinder any of your plans. Just
Do
go
it.
for it.
And you'll never know if you don't
You
do it.
never-
That's
listen,
the thing.
Yeah.
I wake up sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. When I got my car, I woke up one day, I was like, I want a car.
Right.
I went to the dealer and got a car.
Wow.
Just
do
to get
it.
on that
Just do
level.
it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Literally, whatever it is that you want to
wanna
do, you
just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you do it, you'll figure it out.
Right.
That's true, though.
It won't be easy, but
Yeah.
you'll figure it out. Especially if you're passionate about it. And if you're not passionate about it, it won't follow through, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You just move on to the next one.
Yeah. And then if not, like, you know, they always say your dreams will haunt you. You just have to pursue it, or it's just going to keep haunting you, and you're going to be thinking about and having that question, what if?
Right.
You know? So that's dope.
That's
Yeah,
good
great,
advice.
Great answer.
That's good
Yeah, I
advice.
like that. So, Quanah, let's get into the topic. So,
Yes.
Fyre Festival, music festival that was supposed to happen in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Supposed to be this exclusive thing. Can you please tell the people about what that is exactly?
Okay, so 2 documentaries were released recently. For those of you who don't know, one on Netflix, one on Hulu. Fyre Fraud was Hulu, and then Fyre was on Netflix. So basically, the Fyre Festival was meant to be a luxury festival. So luxury, I mean, over the top on a private island in the Bahamas. So-
Cabanas,
cabanas
jets,
and villas and sushi
And celebrities.
and models and
influencers.
influencers and all this.
yachts,
Exactly. So
cocaine.
exactly.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Well, you know,
no.
I'm being
No, you're
honest.
right. You're right.
Yes, drinks upon drinks,
Not
like
crack.
exactly, exactly. Not the cheap stuff,
Because it's
but
whack.
yeah, luxurious. Oh, you know, over the top. And the CEO who was running, well, I guess investing, trying to get investor funds for the Fyre Festival. His name is Billy McFarland. Yes. He is currently in jail, actually, because the investor funds that he so-called secured, he was not getting them legally. He also was lying about a lot of just funds in general, basically telling investors that, okay, you're going to make your money back. We are making this much amount on tickets, on villas,
blah.
on
Promising
blah, blah,
them.
blah, promising money, promising payment, and nobody got paid.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And he had, and like, to be honest, the reason why a lot of people believed in him is like he if you see this guy talk, he has the gift of gab. His even his smile when I see him, he looks just like a car salesman.
Well,
like,
to me,
He's
he
a
looks
con
to me,
artist.
He
to
looks like
me,
a con artist.
Yeah. Well, what I personally got from the documentaries, and I think everybody should watch it.
Yeah.
It is just very interesting just to see what happened, because I remember when this came out in the news. What was it, last year, 2017? And I remember, all the memes and on Twitter and everyone making fun of it.
The one of Ja Rule with his face.
Yeah, he's
running in the jungle like Jumanji.
It was funny. Everyone's laughing, like, and then
But now you
just
realize.
think it's like, rich people got.
Yeah.
And you're just like, ha ha ha, like, if you thought that was going to be a thing, like, you're just laughing at it. But until I saw the documentary, then I realized, like, no, he went through lengths upon lengths upon lengths.
Make this happen, but
To
it
scam.
wasn't really gonna and basically what happened is these people who bought their tickets, they got there and it was a fucking shit show.
Yes.
They
No food,
no
water,
beds,
no beds. Everything was wet.
Yeah.
They were basically staying in hurricane tents. People were stuck in the airport.
Yeah, they were finishing up building everything as people got there. They weren't even prepared for people. The amount of people that were coming, it was just a shit show.
So with that, we watched the documentary.
Yes.
You were a part of the documentary, a part of the festival. So give us the inside scoop, your take
Give you
on
the
the whole
truth?
thing.
Who approached you?
Who approached me? So there's, I've been in the industry for a while, in the event industry, and Mark Wilson, the guy that I worked with before, was like, hey, there's this festival going on in the Bahamas. Mark Musters, who's like another top tier event professional in New York, he needs help. Are you available? Are you willing to do it? I was getting out of a contract like literally 2 weeks after I got that phone call. So I was like, you know what? It goes hand in hand.
clicked.
It
Right.
makes
Got
sense.
you.
I get the phone call from Mark Musters. It was on a Sunday. He was like, we need you in Miami on Tuesday.
Oh.
And I was like, well, okay, that's
right.
fine. So
Pretty
I
close.
go home, I pack. I'm like, how long am I going to be there for?
Yeah.
They don't know. No one tells me anything. So I'm like, all right, it's a little weird, but cool.
So that's weird if you don't get proper information up front.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
It
that
is-
was one of my other questions.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what were you guys told originally? But
Well,
yeah.
we had gotten contracts,
Okay.
right? So I had my contract. I had everything seemed very legit.
Okay.
And the contract was to the T, like it had everything
Okay. Okay.
that you needed. So it seemed real. I said, okay, in the event world, anything can happen. It's just a little kind of all over the place.
You got to be flexible.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pack my suitcase as if I was going to be there for about a month. That's what I did. I fly down to Miami on that Tuesday. And I remember walking into the war room and I was like, okay, this is going to be really interesting. But that's how my involvement began with Fyre.
Okay.
what did you? What about it seemed interesting at that moment?
The level of disorganization. I didn't have a clear understanding of who was who in the room. It's
Okay.
like they introduced me to everyone, but it was like, this is so-and-so, this is that. It was like 15
so
of us
you're
in
like,
the
so
room.
what do you do?
Right, so it's kind of like, and I said to myself, this is, again, normal, because when you do events, it's crazy.
Right.
So I said, I'm just going to sit back and kind of observe and see what's going on and, just see where I can kind of jump in and help. And that's what I did for like the first maybe 3 days.
For the first 3 days, and you just jumped in and helped.
I just whatever they needed, I did. It was almost like an errand boy.
Wow.
Okay.
I was just running around doing whatever they wanted me to
So
do.
then, what happened after the 3 days? Is that when things got real?
Well, here's what happened. After the 3 days, they're like, all right, we're going to send you back to New York because we need Mark Musters, the guy that hired me, or the one that brought me on board, said I need a couple of things for my workshop. Mind you, so I was the assistant creative producer.
Okay.
Mark Musters was the creative producer.
Okay.
Right.
So what that meant was we were the ones in charge of the tents. Put the interior of the tent, so the beds, the seating, the linen, all
So in that moment,
Yes.
were you guys aware that it would be tents and not villas, as he was saying?
Well,
okay.
and I mean, and also just for listener wise, when you hear tents,
Think camping. I'm thinking camping.
you're thinking camping, but basically what was promised on the Fyre Festival site was luxury tents. So not a tent like you're going out to the woods and going to go camp. This was supposed to be a tent like beautiful linens and nice sitting area and a bed like a beautiful luxury tent.
And
is
it would have
what
been
was
that.
supposed
It
to
would
be.
be.
It would have been
Oh, it
that.
had to
Okay.
be. It would have been.
Oh,
that.
listen, it would have
So
been
tell
that.
us.
So here's the thing. I'm in charge. I'm a professional, right? And I know good things when I see it. So I was tasked with doing the tent interiors. I purchased the beds. I purchased the linen. I purchased anything and everything that went in there, I purchased.
Got you.
Ben McRoberts, who was my roommate and worked with me as another assistant, he was on the ground building the bar, building anything that needed to be built.
He was there.
He was there doing it, and then we had the tenting company doing the tents. To be honest with you, the whole relief tent thing, it was funny when I heard it because we were told that although they may look like relief tents, they were custom designed for
That event.
Yeah, but
That wasn't the case. That was a lie.
And then you were like, nah, that's a really
And then I mean, think about you just seeing that, knowing like, okay, I'm supposed to be getting credited for this work that's going to be put in these tents, and now look at them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when did you see the tent?
Well, so we
Let it out.
that was like a whole nother look. Honestly, this podcast should be like 6 hours.
Right.
It's like
I mean, we got time.
so many
We got
things.
time.
We got time.
But basically, we saw the tents in a picture, and then we needed to, because you saw in the documentary, it was all gravel.
Yes.
It was all gravel. There was no sand.
No.
So
No.
I'm thinking I'm going to a site with sand and stuff. The first day I walked into that site, I'm like, how are we going to put tents here?
Yeah.
And you know, the wind will knock it out.
Yeah,
so
it's all in level.
we literally had to drill holes into the gravel and the concrete so that to kind of hook the tents in. And we had one tent there, and it was a makeshift tent just to see how it would hold up. We left it there for like about 3 days, and it was okay. Once we started installing all the tents, some of them would fly off.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
You know, but again, these things happen.
Right.
And
So
as
you
event
try and make
professional,
it work.
You make it work.
And you had extra
Figure it
tents.
out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, the bedding, everything is ordered, and I just did air quotes. Mind you, this is all on my Amazon account, on my Wayfair account. Like, all of my accounts is what I used for.
So you
all
had to use your own accounts?
I didn't have to, but I did. Because I'm like, we just have to get it done.
Right. And then
I'm
you know
not
you're going to get reimbursed.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Well, I mean, you should have gotten
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm purchasing everything that's needed. Now, mind you, we're purchasing in America. We need to get it to the Bahamas.
Yes, it has to go through customs.
Through customs. Whole nother.
Another situation.
Yeah, so we
I have a story about from the Netflix guy. Because did you see that?
Listen,
okay, can we
okay.
get to that?
Yes.
We'll get to that.
We'll
We'll
get
get
to
that
that.
part.
Yeah,
We'll get.
that-
I was like, whoa! When I went, okay,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
get
go
there.
in chunks. Let's go in chunks.
We need to realize what was true and what wasn't true
Right,
in the
please.
documentary,
Okay.
and who was behind both documentaries.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
got
a
it.
really big.
That's very true.
I think that's why I didn't
Yes.
really. I wasn't that inclined for the. But we'll
Yes.
get there.
Well, okay, so basically, the promo video that was made for the Fyre Festival, the one that showed all the models and the beaches and, you know, the private island and Pablo Escobar and blah, 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 all that stuff. That was made by the company Fuck Jerry.
Yep.
Jerry Media.
Jerry
Yes.
Media.
They also produced the Netflix
Documentary.
documentary.
Okay.
So and I didn't know that until after I watched that documentary. So I was like, okay, so there's probably some things in there that are a little like,
Because they were the most people, for the most part, that's involved in the influencing aspect. So,
Yes.
of course, they want to go to extreme
that's how they were
lengths
able to use
kinda
all those
clear-
imageries of all the models and everything in their
documentary.
In their documentary. Okay, got
That's
it.
why they kinda
and they
wanna
had all
clear
the
their
back.
stuff.
They had all the footage of like behind the scenes of them at the
because they were
parties and
actually
They
they're
were there.
filming.
They were
okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then so can you let everybody know who was in charge of the Hulu documentary?
So it was Cinemark.
Cinemark? Okay.
Cinemark. So just so you know, Cinemark, and the reason why I signed on to Hulu is Cinemark is the one that did the Trayvon Martin story,
Okay.
and they also did the Khalif Browder story.
Okay.
Okay.
Both
Gotcha.
of which I love.
Right.
So when they called me, I was like, yeah.
They're like, they
I
want
wanna-
truth, they want
Yeah, I
facts.
want to
Yes.
do you.
So-
Yeah.
Yes.
So did you get approached by both?
Yes.
Oh,
I
you
get approached by
did.
both. Yeah.
Oh,
But
so
I
what
knew-
made
you
you?
chose?
I knew who was behind the first one. The Netflix
Who was
one.
were they both recording at the same time, though? Or did they just...
That I don't know.
I wonder if, like, the Netflix, they were just like, oh, they're doing a documentary, let's do ours.
That I
Try
don't know.
to-
I never responded to the Netflix inquiry.
Why?
Okay.
Because
Why?
I knew who was
Because
behind
look,
it.
They were a part of it.
They
so,
did all that promo that everyone
Yeah.
saw. They did, but it wasn't. That's cool. You're hired to
Yeah.
do
To
that.
Right.
You do it. But now, when your client is telling you to delete comments and to
Yes.
move things, and you don't, that's unethical to me.
Yes.
Right.
And they went ahead and did
Did
that.
it.
Yeah.
They deleted comments. They all the questions that they
Well,
were
they
being
admitted
asked,
on the documentary that they deleted.
They did.
They did. They didn't deny it.
But
But
Yeah.
you.
It's like
okay.
because I mean, after watching which made me want to watch the Hulu one. After watching the Netflix documentary, I know I felt like, well, I mean, if y'all were involved, like maybe y'all know more than you guys are saying that you knew. Because if And as someone working there, if you're telling me that we're putting on an event and now you have people online who are buying tickets and they're asking questions like, hey, I don't have my flight or information. Hey, like, where are we staying? Do you have pictures of the island? And then you're just like deleting
Right.
things.
You shouldn't, something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would already spark like, wait, my boss is telling me that I need to start deleting comments off.
Right.
Like, why?
Why am I doing this?
And it's not even just delete comments, period.
questions. Like, people have questions.
important ones.
Right,
So
very
And
important
I'm
question.
deleting these. So
Yeah,
that
that is
should have
unethical.
sparked like something is wrong here.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, I also didn't want to film or be on film with some of the people that were on the Netflix one.
Oh, because you know them personally.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
And then you guys, so
Yeah, I just
everybody
don't-
just crossed.
Everyone's just phony.
Oh, really?
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them. Okay. Understood.
I can
Understood.
believe that.
Wow.
So tell us about, so your journey from Miami to the Bahamas. And then when you got to the Bahamas, explain that experience to us after the whole tent fiasco.
Well, listen, going from Miami to the Bahamas to begin with was beautiful because we took a private jet.
Hey.
Oh, so
I'm
you
like,
got some of the experience.
Listen, let me tell you something. I tell everybody, Fyre Festival, it was one of the best and worst experiences of my life. Because I did things in the Bahamas or between Miami and the Bahamas that I would have never done. I'm not
Really?
rich.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
I'm
Wow.
not rich. And having that
yeah.
position where I'm working directly with Billy, with Mark Musters, with all these people that are in charge,
Right.
I had access to all of these things. So
Gotcha.
I will never, that
Yeah.
was great.
Right.
So I remember we got to the airport and they're like, yeah, we're getting on that plane. I was like, oh my God.
You were like,
yeah.
You know, you have to keep
Go.
your clothes. Mind you, I was the only black guy.
Really?
I was the only black person.
Wow.
Well, there was another black girl, but she was kind of white. She was a little, I don't know. And she came in a little after. She wasn't
Oh,
there.
okay. You weren't there in the trenches, girl.
Right.
Okay.
It was just you and Ja Rule?
Oh, we got to get to Ja Rule.
I
Okay,
know.
well, we'll get there. Go ahead. Okay. You about to go on a
Bamboozled.
private.
Yeah, it was all private jets, and it was a lot of good food. You know, it was nice.
Yeah.
It
So
was
that's
really,
going to give
really
you an
nice.
impression that, okay,
Oh, yeah, this is about
gonna
to be
Yeah.
legit.
But not only that, when I got my first paycheck, because that's the other reason why I took the job, the pay was great. So I was like, with this money, I can literally pay off my bills throughout the summer. I can focus on building my own brand,
Right.
and not have to work for anyone. And because I did a lot of
Gotcha.
freelance at the
True.
time.
Yeah. True.
So I got the first paycheck, and I was like, wow, it's real. Mind you, my mom was like, I don't think they're gonna pay you. I don't think they're gonna pay you. And then when the payment came in, I was like,
You're like, wow.
they paid me.
They paid you. Okay,
You know,
okay,
so
okay.
there were a lot of things that I, believe. So I get to the Bahamas, and there was a lot of partying on their end. Like everything just seemed kind of slow. It's like I work.
Yeah.
Like
They had different focus.
Yeah, everyone's
Okay.
focus was different. So I was there, and there was a nice core group of us that was like every day on our laptops doing stuff. Mind you, the Wi-Fi is not that great out there, so
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
how do you manage to do this? And I had to use my phone to call America,
Right.
which international.
International fees,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. You don't know how much money I owe Sprint still till this day.
Wow, because of that situation.
Because of that situation,
Wow.
they never pay me. They never reimbursed.
So
me for
how
that.
did your going back to your payment? Because when I was watching the documentary, some people they got like a certain percentage up front, and then once the festival was completed, they were supposed to get another percentage. Was your contract similar, or you
No.
got a one time?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I wish I had a one time.
Oh,
Would have been done and out.
I wouldn't be here. I'd be home. Like I don't care. I don't need to tell my story. I got paid. I'm good.
got paid, right.
Yeah, no. It was every other week. So every 2 weeks I would get paid.
Oh, okay. So you were on like a salary, like
a salary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So-
you were under the other guy.
Fire Media.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was under
Oh.
Fire Media.
Oh, you
Gotcha.
were.
The other guy brought me in, but I was under Fire Media.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So when did the payment stop?
I think I got 2.5 payments, maybe. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just 2.5.
Just
wow.
2.5.
Okay. So then, so you only got paid 2.5. So now walk us through it. So you're on the jet, the private jet. You're going to the island. People are
on the
partying.
People are. I was staying at Grand Isle, which is like the super luxurious villa,
In the
and I had
Bahamas.
it to myself. And I was like, oh, I've never seen any.
Wow.
Listen, it was great. I wish I would have enjoyed it more than like the way other
If
people
you
did.
would have known,
Yeah.
Right.
you would have been like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm going in.
People were by the pool. It was great.
Yeah.
It was
Wow. So when did reality hit?
amazing. Reality hit every day, to be honest with you.
Oh, it just kept getting.
It kept getting
okay.
worse. I kept seeing the signs were there.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but again, my integrity and event professional. The other people that were involved were high level event professionals too.
Right.
So for me, it was like I need to do right by them, because when they see the way I work, they'll want to hire me in the future
other
for
events.
other events.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Like,
the-
let
one
me
of-
make sure I'm on my P's and Q's.
exactly. I mean, one of the guys is the one that does Burning Man. So I'm like, you know,
Really?
again, I'm not really into festivals, and we'll talk
Right,
about that
yeah,
later.
yeah.
But I don't care. You fly me out to do Burning Man, I'll do it with you.
Sure.
Like,
Right.
it's cool.
Yeah.
So every day it was something new, and we kept
Going along.
going and figuring it out as we
Okay.
went along. But then probably a week before, it was like
This is not gonna happen.
maybe 2 weeks.
So
before,
you didn't stay until the actual festival was gonna happen.
I did.
The whole thing.
Oh, so you were.
So remember, this was a 2-weekend festival, and I don't think they talk. Do they say that in the documentary?
no, they don't. They don't.
It was
they
a
don't.
2-weekend
They just
festival.
said it was kind of like Coachella. So
They
Coachella
said
didn't
it
know that.
in Hulu.
They
but
didn't say Netflix.
But they didn't really
Get into
that.
yeah, the
Right.
specifics of what the
2
festival.
weekends.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So you were there for weekend one.
right, the only weekend that kind of
Yeah.
sort of happened,
Yeah.
but not really.
Yes.
So when all the the attendees were coming in, where were you? Because I heard it rained the night before.
It rained the night
And then
before.
everything
I
was
mean,
just
it poured
It
the night
poured.
before.
So what were you thinking as an event planner? It poured the night before. You have all these people coming in. You already know what these tents look like. They're not really going to get their luxury tents.
That's the thing about having
And
things
then-
on an island too.
Well, they were never going to get a luxury tent to begin with.
No, never.
So that's
it was
that's
like
like-
a false.
So,
Out of
all right.
that.
So, I have a quick question before you answer that.
I'm pulling up a text, by the way.
Oh, okay.
From that night.
Oh, okay.
Get it.
You were in charge of the luxury, quote unquote, luxury tents. So when you see people building and you're putting it together and you're seeing like, wow, this is not turning out to be what I thought it was going to be. This is not, like, this is just becoming a disaster. Did you have the access to say anything to Billy or to...
The team.
Yes, I did. Because I'm very vocal.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say anything.
Right.
Yes.
So I was very vocal about it, specifically to Mark Musters, who was my direct boss, because he was the one in our team. And I'm
Right.
like, I'd rather go through him first instead
Yes.
of going to Billy or anyone else,
Yeah.
because I'm
Right.
not going to freak
Talk
anyone
to your
out.
boss, yeah.
And the general consensus was everything is going to be fine. Let's think positive.
It'll be positive.
Be positive.
Oh,
And I
okay.
literally, I was told that once by Mark Musters. He's like, "You're always so negative. Like, just be positive." And I'm just looking at him like,
Like negative in
How the hell
reality.
am I
All right,
supposed
what
to be-
reality are you
Yeah.
living
Right,
in?
you know, like,
You're
and
like, you mean, I'm just trying to be
when
real.
he told me that, I was a little taken back, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe this is not. Maybe they're all in on this.
Yeah.
Like maybe
This is like a sick joke.
yeah,
like,
that's what it felt like.
oh, okay,
That's what
okay.
it felt like. So I, after that day, I was like, okay, maybe I should just chill out a little bit and just kind of go with the flow,
Flow
do what
and
I need
see-
to do,
and-
but
Yeah.
Don't-
just know,
But you
just
knew
know
in the
that-
back of your head, this
Yeah.
ain't going. Yeah.
All right, so take us to the night before.
the night
what
before,
happened?
we worked so much. Like we were, oh man, that day.
Are you
was-
still in your luxury villa?
Well,
The night before.
I just want to know.
I was. So mind you, so here's the thing. We the cottage that we were staying in, because remember, we were on the island way before
Yeah,
everyone
you were
else.
there
So
for a month,
There
yeah.
were all these Airbnbs still available and everything. So where we stayed was about 45 minutes away from the actual festival site.
Okay.
Which I loved.
far.
Oh no, I loved it though. I loved
okay.
it because I was away from everyone. The
Got you.
war room was like in that direction, and
Yeah.
I hardly ever went to the war room because it was
Okay.
a lot of everyone
lot
was just
going
talking.
on.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't focus if I have all the
talking.
talking.
Yeah.
So we're at the site. That night I rolled my ankle, I remember. And I'm like limping around this entire...
That was a sign.
Oh, it was so bad.
was a sign.
It was so bad. And I'm limping around everywhere and we're trying to get stuff done. 3 a.m. comes and Ben and I are like, let's just go home.
Wow.
We're tired. But here's the thing. I made it a point to have, 983 tents ready
Right.
for the first batch of people that were coming in.
Right.
Those tents were ready with what we had.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't the luxury stuff,
Yes.
but people had a place to sleep. We had a list. We knew where people were going.
Right.
Okay.
At this point, the whole luxury thing went out the window. So it's like whatever you pay, I don't care what you paid
Yeah.
for.
You're
We
gonna
had-
get-
you have somewhere to
Sleep,
sleep.
at least.
That was my main concern.
Yes.
We had that. 3 a.m. comes around. As we're driving, it starts to rain. Nothing crazy, just light.
Okay.
As soon as we park the car outside of the house, we sit in the porch, smoking. because it was a
Stress.
stressful-
Yeah, you need I need to.
You're like,
just-
let's sit in this rain, this ambiance right here.
Yes,
Yes.
All of a
because
sudden,
rain
like,
is soothing.
Mind you, our cottage was right across the street from the beach.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, because
You see the
you see,
the fucking
you see
cloud
everything.
coming through,
I saw
like-
that one lightning strike.
Oh, you're like, oh shit.
It hit one of the generators, so all the lights went out, which was typical. It happened, and maybe it happened once or twice while we were there.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like,
In the
whatever.
islands,
Like,
the electricity goes out all the time. It's nothing. It happens.
DR, it's cool.
Yes,
Like, I'm used to it.
It's very
So we're just sitting there, and then it just begins to downpour, and I was like, wow,
Oh,
this is
shit.
crazy. I'm like, I don't know if those tents are gonna hold up. So Ben and I are there, like,
But
oh my
question:
god.
when you guys were putting up these tents, no one thought about the weather, like the possibilities, and like what month was this happening in?
This was April.
April. Okay, so April. It's not
Hurricane
it's not
season.
hurricane. It's not hurricane
season.
season. It's not hurricane.
But it also
but-
had not rained a lot either. Like while we were there, it didn't rain that, which
Yeah.
is weird because in the Caribbean it rains all the
That
time.
was
Yeah,
bad.
it does. Yeah,
But
and
it
in the Caribbean, they've been having like dry season, and
Right.
it's only been raining like in the wintertime.
Right.
So
Depends
it's
on
Right,
what area.
yeah,
that
it
was
depends.
God.
Yeah,
That was God. That
Right.
was God
It
was
was.
like,
But
you
But
know
then
what?
also
Well,
in that,
look at this real quick, right?
the tech.
To the producer, right? I sent him this text. I said, I'm not gonna say his name. Honestly, talk them into canceling this thing because of an act of God. This is like a blessing in disguise. Sorry for not staying in my lane, but now I'm even more skeptical. He texted me back. He said, understood. It's not my final decision. I said, I understand. I left it at that. But I said it.
you said
Right.
it, yeah.
You got
Had
it
to
off your
say it. I
chest.
had to get
So once you saw that downpour, you were like, please,
This is the last. Yeah.
let's see if we can cancel this,
That's
please.
crazy.
drove back down, slept for like maybe an hour or two, drove back down. We get there, and I saw a couple of people with luggages, and I was like, where are these people coming from? Like, because here's the thing. What a lot of people don't know is that Ben and I, who were literally in charge of the site, had no idea when people were flying in.
No one
We
told
didn't-
you.
No. We would ask, and no one had an answer for us. So we had no idea what time people were coming in, and we would ask all the time. And it's like, no,
That's
we don't know.
vital
Well,
information.
it's the-
Yes,
it's
like
the most
when do we
important-
need to have this done by?
Exactly.
When are
So-
people arriving?
Which is why we worked so many hours the night before, because it's like we don't know
You
what time
didn't
people
even
are
know.
arriving.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
So there were people that arrived on the chartered plane, and some people that just arrived on their own. When I get to the site, I see some of these people lingering there at the gate, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. but
Right.
let's just go in. So we go in. Everything is wet. Everything is soaked. And Sophia, the other black girl, was running around. She's like, well, we just need to get them dried. So there was one laundromat on the island, or at least on that side of the island.
Oh,
and
shit.
we literally had to strip all the beds and take them to take it to
But the mattresses, like,
Where
so,
the mattresses were
mattresses-
so
But we were hoping that they would dry
dry
up
by the time.
by the time that people would come in. So then we learned that the first flight came in like at 5 or 6 a.m. And they drove them to that other
That
location.
is so early.
Yeah,
So
the
they-
bar.
By the house.
Exactly.
And everybody got drunk.
And everybody got drunk and they were there. So it kind of bought us some time. 6 p.m. comes around. And, I'm like, we had a home maintenance company there
Right.
from the island. And they were redoing all the beds in the tents that had gotten wet. I'm like, we still need mattresses, and we still had a truck coming in. So I see my truck coming in with more mattresses. Cool. Behind that truck, I see the yellow school bus. And then I'm like, what are these yellow school buses? I didn't know they were yellow school buses. And I was like, what are these? What's going on? It was the people, and I was like, fuck, people are coming in. So
Oh my God.
I called Ben, and I'm like, Ben, turn around. Because, like, you could see, it was kind of like on a hill. So I
Yeah.
could see him down. I was like, turn around. You're going to see the bus. He was like, what the fuck is that, Felix? And I'm like, it's the bus.
Oh my
Bus is
God.
coming
People,
in. People
oh my
coming
gosh.
in. And you see, and
That's
you can
so-
hear them. They're
wow.
drunk.
They're
Yeah,
drunk.
they're
Yeah,
drunk.
they were
Oh
drinking.
my God.
Yeah.
Some white people.
Yeah. When they're drunk.
They're a little
when they're
obnoxious.
drunk. Right.
So they were like yelling out the window and like, what is this? And blah, blah, blah. So they
we
get
went to
there.
a PWI, so we know.
yeah.
All too well.
So bad.
Wow.
So they get to the blue house, which you see in both documentaries.
Yeah.
So where that blue house is, I was to the right of it.
Ooh.
Literally there. And I'm like, and I'm standing there, and Mark Musters, the guy that hired me, is standing in front of me. And we're just standing there. It's like, it's almost like,
There's nothing
what
to
do you
do.
do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Like,
What
what
do
do
you
you
do?
say to these
now,
people?
Yeah, now we have all these people. Again, what was his name? He was on my documentary, on the Hulu one. He and I were the ones that did the room assignment. So he had a list, and we
Okay.
knew.
Oh yes, I know. Okay.
Yeah, Mike.
Yes.
No, Nick.
Yes.
Sorry.
He said that he did have a system going. He was checking
had-
people
yeah.
in.
And then the
But
guy
we didn't have the
came.
manpower, though. That's the problem.
Okay.
Because the concierge people literally came in the night before, or 2 nights before, and they were staying on a cruise ship that was like
Oh.
So they just had people all over
Yeah.
the damn
Okay, so
place.
No organization.
No
No,
organization.
None at all whatsoever.
Yes.
That's what the biggest problem was. It was
Yeah,
no
no.
organization. You can't put together a festival in a month
Of
and a
that
half.
size. No, not
You
in a
can't.
month and a half.
What they also didn't show in the documentaries is that they had 2 other production companies that they hired well in advance,
Mm-hmm.
and they both got fired, which is when I was hired. So everyone was relatively new. And we were
okay.
picking up the pieces from
Yeah.
what the other
So no one
companies
knew
had done.
the information from the beginning. Everybody's just getting it by piecemeal. Wow.
And then you're firing them, and then
Yeah.
just hiring people to.
Yes.
This is what we have. Go ahead and do it. Okay, you're gone now too.
Yeah, Billy liked firing people.
Oh, okay.
I saw that in he just
loved it.
fire,
Wow.
and then hires, like, I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy's crazy. Okay, I want to talk about one of the moments on the documentary, the Netflix one about, I don't know the guy's name.
Andy King.
Andy.
Andy. Yes.
Okay, wait. Tell me what. Tell me what
Okay,
happened because I didn't watch that one.
so Andy, what is his purpose on the?
He came in. What was it that he said on the Netflix one? He said something about he was Billy's whisperer or something, like he would.
Yeah, he
kinda-
was like a mentor.
Yeah, he was
in a
mentor,
way,
and he
yeah.
vouched for him to all these people to help them to invest into him and all
Yes.
this other stuff. So this guy, what's his name again?
Andy.
Andy. Okay, so Andy, I'm watching the documentary, right? So Andy's like, yes, you know,
I was like, why would
he
you
was
tell
in
this
charge
story?
of. He's in charge of what? He's like, I don't know how much this matters, or if it's gonna hold up anything, or if it makes sense to even talk about this, but I'm gonna talk about it. He's like, he was in charge of getting the Evian water to the.
Well, he got a phone call that the water was stuck at customs.
Yes, the water was stuck in customs,
As was
and
everything else.
as you know, like your linens from Amazon didn't come through. Yeah, so he said Billy was telling him like, oh, we need you to
Take one for the team.
take one for the team, and then he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like,
I've been taking them for the team.
team the whole time. And then
What else do you want me to
so
do?
obviously this guy, his sexual orientation, he's
He's
gay.
gay.
And then the guy who's in charge of customs in the Bahamas, I guess he's
I
not.
don't think he was.
You don't think he was gay? Okay, but he was alluding to the
crazier.
fact.
wanted him to sleep with him to get the water.
So he was
Girl.
like, oh, I'm gonna need you to go down to the office and suck his dick.
For the water.
So
But
he
he
could
will
release water.
Yeah.
From customs.
So he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe!"
And this
like,
man is
He
like,
said this on the
wow.
documentary.
yeah, he
did.
said this on the
Said this
documentary.
story.
And the guy was like, "Honestly, I, gathered my bearings, and I actually went down to his office." Knowing that I was going to suck his dick to get that Evian water for those kids,
He
those
said
rich white
he
kids.
Went home. He said he went home. He took a shower.
Yes.
Had some mouthwash. Got in his car.
Scar? Yes.
And he was on his way. Ready
To suck
do
this man's dick.
what he needed
For
to
some
do
water
for
to
the
get
water.
it through customs.
So many questions.
Well, but the main question is, how true is that?
Yes.
Like,
So
But why would he just say that to?
because number one, I'm like, number one.
like, we just going around sucking dick to get water?
Exactly.
I mean, like, where are we now?
But
I'm
why?
like, hold on. And when I was watching this documentary and we got to that part, I had to pause it because I had to think for a second. Because at that time, I'm like, you already know that this festival is going down in flames. You already know
so
that.
you're willing.
But you're still willing to have someone call you up and basically say, I need you to use your body to go get something out of customs for a festival that I know is already going down in flames. I was like,
but more importantly, it's for water. You ain't asking for some filet mignon.
I
like,
know.
you're asking for bottled water, my
He should have sucked
dude.
his dick for the sheets. Like, that's what he should have done.
there was no water at the place.
Like, I mean, I know
was no
water is
food or
important.
water. So
Water
I'm
is
like-
important. But, like, at that point, I would have
At
been
that
like, fuck
point-
this shit. I ain't sucking
I would've
nobody's
been
dick
like,
for no water.
fuck you, Billy, that you even called me with that request, and I'm going home.
But then also,
that would have been the end.
But if
I'm
that
done.
if that is true, you also got to think about why is everyone so loyal to fucking Billy? What hole
Right,
does Billy
what does
have?
he
Like, what
have?
is it
So this
about
is my
this?
theory.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is your
Okay,
theory?
what's your
First of
theory?
all, I don't know if it was true that they asked him to do that.
Right,
And
right.
if they did ask him to do that, it was probably said in a jokingly manner. And
Right,
It wasn't that
yeah.
serious.
So he trying to
Do
hype
you know
it
he's
up.
getting his own show? I saw that.
What?
you
About
see
what?
that?
On IG. He's
Wait,
getting
what?
his own show. The guy who's going to go suck for water.
That's why he told that story.
But this is part of my theory, though.
Yeah. What happened?
It's a bigger.
In my opinion, they were all in on it, including him, to get the notoriety that they're getting now.
What, a shit show? Like,
But remember, everything sells. Everything
Yes,
in America sells,
everything.
whether it's good or bad. Bad publicity is good.
I mean,
You know, any
honestly,
publicity is
right.
good. Like, I don't believe it. I don't.
You don't
when I
believe
watched
that
it, I was
happened?
like, this is not true. The reason why that man is so phony. First of all, he promised me $10,000.
who, the same guy?
The same guy. Andy King said
For
to
what?
me,
For
he
the-
said to myself and Ben, you guys have been really running the show here, I'm going to get you $10,000 more, is what he said.
On top of the pay.
On top of the pay that we were
Okay.
getting, right? On the documentary, he says he's known Billy since he was about 20, and he did the Magnificent parties and stuff like that. When we were on the island, he was labeled Billy's gay godfather, and he's known Billy since he was a kid. At least that's
So
what
he's
I
like
was told. I don't-
family almost.
Right, almost
Right.
like family. So that's why he was there, and he's an event professional. And then, I did my little Google search while I was there to see
Right,
who
to
this
see
man
who-
was,
yeah.
because he was obnoxious to me from the beginning.
Right.
Nothing against the guy, because there's a bunch of obnoxious people. But when I saw that on the documentary, I'm like, no.
You were a little skeptical. You're like,
Now I'm feeling like he really wanted to go do that. I don't think no one asked it. I think
He
He
he was.
prepared himself. He was probably like, all right.
I
Oh,
mean,
listen, he
it's
was
a
very
great
touchy-feely.
story.
He's touchy-feely.
Very touchy-feely.
He
He
looks
was-
like he's down to do anything.
He's one of them guys
Is
that
that
are
what
older and they
listen,
want to,
Yeah.
They do that.
They objectify black men. In my opinion, is what I saw while I was there.
Right.
At least that's what I
Yes.
thought.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Wow. That is crazy. Okay, so I have while I was watching the documentary and how everything was going down, I'm from St. Kitts. We have a big music festival that we put on every year. It's one weekend, but it's from like Thursday to Sunday. We have big acts. It's a smaller than the Bahamas, small island. We're known as small islands. We are able to put on an event at that capacity. We put people in hotels. We have the top artists. We have why did nobody do any research? Did anybody I don't understand. It just bothers me that no one thought this through. You're in a room with intelligent people.
But my thing.
But also, if you're. Well, sorry, Joe.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say from at least the Hulu documentary, they talk about Billy and his past or whatever. He's known for running all these fucking scams. So in my head, I'm watching. I'm like, did he even do this with the intent of this being successful? Like, did he even think?
Wanted
did
it
he
to-
care enough? Because he's just in his mind already plotting. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get the money from this person. It's a calculated move each time. He don't care if there's a fucking festival or not. He's like, I'm just going to make these connections, get this money, and on to the next, because the way they were talking about it was, okay, he had scam number 1 in order to fund scam number 2, and then that funded scam number 3. So it's kind of like, because they said the point of the festival was to market his app.
Yes.
The Fyre Festival app.
Which
the
was,
Fyre app
which
or
was
whatever.
a genius app.
That's a
to be
great
honest with you.
idea.
When I
That
heard
is a
it,
great
I was like,
idea.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
Whoever thought about it.
Right.
So the festival was all smoke and mirrors. First of all, he decided to use Jerry Media, knowing the influence they have on social media. We know how social media is.
Yes.
People influenced by the dumbest shit.
Yes.
Jerry Media, I think they even started off by doing memes.
Memes,
Those
yeah.
shit, you literally copy and paste the picture. You can make a meme in Paint.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? On the computer. Like, it's so
anyone
simple.
can make a meme.
So people fall for things so easily. He knew that people are gullible. At least the people... I guess the people who attended, or so to speak, or whatever.
Yeah.
But he knows people will feed into it. So
And
he's
people,
like,
and once you throw some models in there and some,
Exactly, this is
Instagram
appealing.
influencers
Right.
in there, of course.
Yeah.
And you're saying there's a festival where I could possibly
Right.
hang out with Bella Hadid. Yeah,
Right.
I want to go.
he's
yeah.
like, ooh, there's money in this. So in
Or
his
Kendall
mind,
Jenner.
in his mind, he's like, is this scam going to be successful or not? And at that point in time, before it went totally left, it was to him. He's like, okay, well,
his
actually,
mind.
my foot is touching soil on the Bahamas. I'm here. People are here. Cool.
And then the whole thing with the Pablo Escobar, it wasn't even his island that they were able to use. He was told specifically not to use the name, and he used
Yeah,
it,
he used it
to,
anyway,
as a marketing.
and they said, get out.
Yeah.
Right, like no, you're not going to use
And
this.
even when they were promoting the flyer, because Coachella does that, they were modeling it after Coachella. They used the flyer of like the map of what it's going to look like. They said the island wasn't even the real thing or something like that.
It
Was
Yeah,
was,
they-
it was just a piece. It was a piece of the island. It was
Yeah.
like Sandals Resort was right next to it, which it was.
They
Yeah.
photoshopped it to
Wow.
make it look like a private island, but
Right.
it
Yeah.
was really connected
That's
to.
crazy.
So I feel like his focus was more into the smoke and mirrors of it all than
Right.
the actual, execution of
Right.
it. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
wasn't. He didn't care about that shit. He's like,
Definitely.
that's why I have y'all here. I don't care.
So one of the questions that we definitely wanted to ask was, in your personal opinion, do you feel that Billy McFarland went in with this with the intent to scam?
I don't know. It's really hard for me to answer that question, and I've been asked it many, many times because I was on the ground. So I know that my intent was to put together this event, right? And everyone else that was working with us. From the look of it, we would have our meetings and things, and I can't fathom how you can think of something so grand and not want to put it together.
yeah,
But
and it to
then-
be successful.
Right.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if he went into this wanting to scam people, he didn't get anything out of it because he didn't make money off of it.
Right.
He was literally getting money from this investor to do this and to do. He didn't get not $1 off
Right.
of this. So besides the experience on the island of them jet skiing and doing all these other things, I don't think he got anything out of it. So it's really hard for me to understand, like, how do you...
What his motive.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a thrill. You know how like people who are addicted to drugs, they just like that rush. So maybe he just likes the rush of knowing that he can do all this. Or
And having all these people after him, because like literally we were all after him. Billy, we need this. Billy, we need that. And it was like pulling him in 20 different directions.
So was he in the trenches? Was he like working? Because from the Netflix, I thought he was just riding around on his dirt bike.
For the most part.
That's what he did?
For the most part, he did a lot of that. There was a lot of partying. They would always have their own meetings. There was, what did we call it? It was like the main house. Not the blue house that you see on the documentary. There was like this mansion where they stayed in. It was him, Grant, who's also featured in the, he did all the marketing, and a couple of other people, Samuel Cross, who's also on the Netflix one. And they were always there. And it was like honestly, I don't know. It looked like a sausage fest.
Yeah. Sausage, honestly. Well, it just seems like, I think he didn't know that it was going to take off like it did. And it just got above him, beyond him, that it just kind of escalated. He's like, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to go. Like, you just get so deep into shit sometimes. You just like, oh, let me just
tell people what they want to hear.
And let's just see how far this goes.
And see what I can do with it.
I'm too deep in already. So another question, since this is like a music podcast and everything. So can we talk about Ja Rule and his involvement?
Right.
So how?
Because according to Ja Rule, he was hoodwinked and swindled and bamboozled just like everybody else.
Right? He had no.
But at the end of the Hulu documentary, he said that on the I forget who was interviewing him in that radio show, but he said he was the mastermind. Like he presented Billy with the idea of this.
Right,
so, like,
and then Billy executed it.
Right, and Billy was protecting him when they asked him about Ja
even
Rule's
at the end of the Netflix documentary when they had a staff meeting. And Ja Rule was on it, the conference call. And they're like, well, we can't promise people things knowing that we can't give them.
Right.
That's fraud. Like, knowing that we can't give them these promises, but we're promising them this. And he's like, that's not fraud. That's false advertisement. And everyone's like, ... Yeah, same thing. Fraud.
Same thing.
Exactly. That's what I said.
I think Ja was writing this white guy's because Billy was able to get into rooms and get money that Ja Rule couldn't get into. So Ja was like, okay, could be like, I can make money off of this. You use your money,
I'll use my music connects
to make this happen. This is like a great partnership. So you do what you got to do to make this money happen, and I'll do what I got to do, and I'll be the face, and I'll be like the music person. So it just sense because Billy obviously can reach people that Ja Rule couldn't.
Right.
Okay. So that's what I thought he was getting out of the partnership. He was like, oh my God, I'm about to be the next Diddy. I'm about to be the next Jay-Z. Like, this is my shit. Like, I'm about to pop.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, I agree.
You
I
agree?
agree. I do think that he didn't put $1 into this because I don't think he has the money.
No, not at
all.
all.
What he been doing?
Right.
Right.
He had just came out of jail not too long before.
Right after.
So it was like when I heard that he was involved, that's when my skepticism came in.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, well, Ja Rule, but isn't he in jail for like a number of things? And one of them was tax evasion, I think. Was he in jail for tax evasion or something like that?
Yeah, it was something with money. I think it was something like, I don't want to
maybe,
say
I don't know. Don't
it was
quote
a
me
couple
on that.
things.
Yeah, something.
But I was like, he just came out of jail, but he's cool. I was in high school when he was out, and he was like the thing.
Like
with
maybe
Ashanti
he's trying something.
Yeah, why not?
So, I always wanted to see him win after the whole like 50 Cent thing. I want him to win, so I wanted this for him.
I mean, because when Ja Rule was big, he was big.
Yeah,
I
want
turn
him
on the
to
radio
win.
and constantly hear his music.
Yeah, I want him to win. Yeah.
So, we had a couple of meetings, and he was in a couple of these meetings as well, and he seemed very involved. He would ask the right questions and things of that nature. I have nothing negative to say about him per se when it came to the actual festival. What I'm upset about is post-festival. They were like, he said one thing here, he said another thing there. It was like, it was all very conflicting. And then I didn't see him trying to stick up for the people that actually worked. It's just weird. You have all this influence. And because of your name, all of these other investors gave money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Protect us. If you feel like you were
bamboozled,
whatever he said,
yeah.
then join our fight
right.
and be a spokesperson for that. I saw him being a spokesperson for whatever was happening at the projects here in New York. And I remember seeing that on Twitter, and I was like, so you're putting all your energy into that, which is cool. I don't.
He's trying to deflect.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, come on, what about
Yeah.
us?
And he had a concert recently where he was just like allowing the audience to say fuck you, Ja Rule. And you know, everybody, he just get it out one last time so we can start this concert. I
Right.
saw that. Yeah, recently.
Really?
I think he had a
wow.
concert on Friday and he was just like, just say fuck you, Ja Rule, and like, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So
Yeah.
my big question is, can you talk about this? Are you part of the class action
Yes.
suit? Oh, you are. So you're waiting.
Better be shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're still owed to this day a lot of money.
A lot of money. You got to think about it. Not only what they didn't pay me, but the money that I spent. So there was a per diem
Yes.
that we had, which was about $75 per day,
Right.
that we were going to be reimbursed for whatever we needed to get. So that plus water. So since we spoke about water earlier,
Evian.
Yeah.
but forget about the Evian for the attendees.
Right.
Think about the men that were working
Right.
Yes.
from the island. All these
Yes.
island workers
Yes.
that need. We need water.
The Bahamians.
I literally would come out of pocket. And I'll tell you the number, about $6K out of pocket from what I had been getting paid. I put into getting water for these people because I would ask for water. And they'll be like, yeah, go ahead, get it. And the water vendors, there's 2 water vendors on the island.
Right.
Remember,
Resources are limited,
Regatta weekend was already around the corner. So they had secured all this water for that. So these vendors are giving me what they had secured for that and trying to get it from somewhere else. And they're like, we're not giving you more water until you start paying for it. And I was like, I don't have money to pay for what we owe you,
Yeah.
but I can pay you for new water because I don't want these guys to be out here.
Yeah,
It
working
was
without
working
water.
without water.
And you're on the ground with them too, so you're
Exactly.
seeing what
So
they
if
gotta
you
do.
need water, of course
Right.
they gonna need water too.
Exactly. And the amount of water that I bought wasn't even enough, but it was an attempt to make sure that,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
had something. I wouldn't feel right working in a
Right.
place and not taking care of the people that are working for me.
Yeah, because a lot of people did
Or
get
under me.
scammed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the woman who was feeding everyone, she also spoke about
Marianne.
how
Yeah,
yes,
she
but
said she lost 50K.
she lost a lot of
50K,
money.
but she made a whole lot of money on
yeah,
that
she
GoFundMe.
did.
Oh, she did.
They did a
Oh, wow.
GoFundMe
Yeah, they did a
after the Netflix.
GoFundMe. She made that like 3 times over.
Like 3
Oh,
times
I
over,
felt
yeah.
so bad for her, but
Listen,
she did it
that
from
woman,
them. Yeah,
That woman, oh man.
she deserved.
Wow.
She deserved that and more. She
Wow.
worked. So her and the cleaning company lady.
Right.
I don't think the cleaning company lady got any money because she wasn't on any other documentaries.
Oh.
But Jesus Christ, like, yeah.
She was
What
like,
about-
I was
what
feeding
about
people
the-
24/7, had the cooks and
Wow.
everything.
And then got yelled at for things like it was.
really?
You know, it was-
Dealing with these arrogant. I'm sorry, I'm about to go.
I know.
I'm feeding you and you got the nerve to yell at me. Wow.
But these people, like, because all the people who were coming to the festival, presumptually, we were assuming they have money, right? If they're spending all that money for this luxury
Some
experience.
of those kids, I'm sorry. When I saw some of them getting off the cheese bus and then they're like, "Oh my god," I was laughing. I
Yeah.
laughed a little bit, and
I did
I
too.
felt bad a little bit laughing because I'm like, "Damn, they really got bamboozled." But they're just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. I mean, when that
like-
that one kid said the girl burst into tears when she saw the tents, I was like,
Well, but
Yikes.
you have to think about it like, yeah, we make fun of the rich people.
Right,
that-
right, right.
And I
But-
felt I did.
But think
yeah.
about coming onto this island. You've been sold this
Yeah.
idea. And not only that, the drive from the airport to the location, it's not...
Exhausting.
Exuma is not a pretty island visually. It's beautiful waters, but it's very underdeveloped. So you're driving and you're like, okay, where's
Where
the
is this
luxury?
going?
What's
Yes.
going on? All of the mansions on Exuma are kind of hidden. They're not right on the road, and there's one main road. So you go into this and you see all of that. It's like, oh my God,
Where am I?
how am I going to get out of
the
here?
build up, you're just like, okay, already getting.
The airport is tiny, you know, so you
Yes.
know there's not like all these flights going in and out. How do you get out?
yeah.
Wow.
So it's scary. It is a
I
very,
can
very
imagine.
scary
I can
situation.
imagine.
Because even when I got there, when they took us out of the hotel and they were like, okay, we're gonna place you in a house, I was like, "Jam, like what house are they gonna put me in?
Yeah.
You know, it has to be. And luckily, Ben and I, we lucked out. We got
You got a house.
Nice.
We got a
Airbnb.
2-bedroom,
Yeah.
2-bathroom house to ourselves. It was great.
Yeah.
I saw some of the people got actual villas.
Villas, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like there
wow.
was the girl on there letting her place look nice. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
oh.
They were
That's
all in there
crazy.
dancing.
I was like, oh.
And she was like, I feel so bad. 'Cause I got a villa. And I was like, girl, you don't feel bad.
You don't feel
That's crazy.
And those villas was on the other side of the island too. So it was like even longer. It was more like an hour and a half to get to the site. So even though it was a beautiful villa, going
Still.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to you, like, what do you learn from this experience going forward, moving forward into a next potential business opportunity or working with someone else? in a similar
Festivals, too.
capacity, how would you walk into the next situation?
I don't know. The only thing that I would do differently
Okay.
is I would listen to my gut. I would do what my gut is telling me to do. At one point when I was on Exuma, and Mark Wilson, the guy that connected me with Mark Musters, he actually was hired to do the event too.
Oh, okay.
He flew down there and he was like, this is not going to happen. He literally looked at me, he was like, this is not going to happen. And he was like, Felix, book me a flight. I'm getting out of here. And I wanted to go with him. And
But
I should have gone, but I was like, no, I can't go.
Because you were committed.
I'm
And
committed.
that's your work ethic, though.
It's my work
When you
ethic.
commit, you want to commit all the way through.
Yeah.
And you did everything you needed to do.
You're like,
I
we
mean,
can
I did
figure it
everything I
out.
could do.
Yeah.
And he left, and I remember him leaving, and I was like, damn, I should go. I still have time to go. I should go. And I didn't go. So that's the only thing I would do differently.
Wow.
Because, I mean, honestly, like you even said before, having done event planning and producing for so long, it is unpredictable.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't know.
very unpredictable.
You know? Like, there's things we've dealt with when we were doing our, you
Events,
just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Just try to figure it out as
Yeah.
it hits you.
Yeah, that's
And in the vein of music festivals, you lightly touched on this, but if you could plan your own luxury festival, if all the money, the legit money, came to you,
Important.
legit money came to you, millions of dollars, and said, plan your own luxury festival, what would that look like?
Okay. So when I was on my way here, my partner and I were talking, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to answer that question. Like, I don't know if I even, because I don't like festivals.
Yes.
It's not really
Well,
my
no,
thing.
answer honestly.
It's not really
like,
my
I
thing.
wouldn't even do one.
But as I've been sitting here just talking about it and thinking about it, I'd probably do something to help the people. So it wouldn't be a luxury festival per se. I hate the word luxury,
Luxury,
honestly,
okay.
because luxury is just, it's whatever.
because at these festivals, if you want the luxury experience, you can get that. When we went to Coachella, we had the opportunity to do the VIP pack,
Yeah.
and we were exposed. So you have the
you
option.
have the option.
So
It's up to you.
yeah,
I mean,
it's-
I was kind of lucked out because my coworker knew somebody, and she
yeah,
just gave us tickets.
but the people who
But
want to
still.
pay for a luxury experience, you can get that. That's what I'm trying to say.
But defining that word is,
It's just
Lucid.
Yeah, it's very lucid. So for me, I would do something for the people. I would do something, I don't know, some type of charity work or something.
Yeah.
Where they give back,
I can't give you an honest,
Yeah.
a full answer of how I would design it or whatever,
Yeah.
but it would definitely be something to give back.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something for the people of. I wish we would have done something if this would have happened.
Yeah.
Like the first night would have been open to everyone on the island, because you
Yeah.
go to this
Oh, that's
island.
nice,
These
yeah.
people, they don't
Have
see this.
much,
They don't
yeah.
have much.
Yeah.
They've never done any of this. So
Yeah, and get to see those artists and everything. Yeah.
That's true.
That would have been nice.
That would have been.
Like if this thing did actually
Yeah.
happen.
yeah.
And
Because
one
when I
night.
heard about the Fyre Festival and heard like what it was supposed to be, I was like, that's genius.
Right.
Like if this really would have went through, this
Yeah.
would have been
Amazing.
dope.
And
You
that's
make
what
the
I kept
people
thinking
feel
about.
like they're
Dope.
one of them, like they're one of the celebrities
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's what I kept thinking about. I was like,
Honestly.
if
Like,
if
if
we
this
can
could-
pull this through,
Yeah.
my career is
gonna
gonna.
be-
woof.
Yes.
Why?
Like, it's gonna
Yeah.
be great. They're gonna hire me next month to start working on next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Is what I
you
kept
saw, and I
thinking.
can understand why you stayed, because you
Yeah.
saw like, oh my god, if
You
this
saw the
goes
vision.
through,
Yeah.
this can take my career off. So I don't honestly, I probably would have did the same thing. I probably would have
Yeah.
stayed and try to work it out. But I want to say one thing. I know our goal here, we always wanted to do like an independent artist music festival. And watching that documentary, it just like kind of opened my eyes to like what
ooh, what would go
How
into
much
it.
How many things you gotta? Just the small details. That
Yeah.
gotta
think about.
Yeah, it's like a
that.
like a dream. You say something like,
Yeah.
I hope one day we can get to this level, that way we can do it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but this just made it more realistic to me, and what is entailed and what capacity and what kind of manpower, what kind of money we need, what kind of investors we would need. So it was kind of like a thing for me mentally, like, oh wow, okay, this was like an eye opener, because I just thought I was thinking of it like luxurious and like, oh, we could just get a festival, have independent artists, throw them on the stage, and
Come on,
Throw them on the stage.
Right, I was just thinking of it like very loosely like that, but this really showed me what is entailed, and I kudos to all the different festivals like Broccoli Fest, Governor's
Yeah,
Island,
it's a lot.
Coachella. You have the one in Austin. You
There's
know,
a bunch of them.
Loud.
yeah, there's a lot. So kudos to all those people. Like, I have so much respect for you. You know, like the event, you know, for you guys to put on all those things and to accommodate for all those people.
It's like we just show up and the show was going on.
right, but
You
we don't
think
know what
about-
happens.
And
How
that's,
we
that's
got
how
here.
you know that festival is successful, because
Right.
you literally showed up and had a great time.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know what went into the security. 'Cause
Yes.
that's like one of the biggest things about
Yes.
these festivals. Security is so
Security.
important. So
Yeah,
it,
and then
it's
the
a
art.
lot.
So you did mention earlier too that you don't. Well, festivals aren't particularly your thing.
They're not.
So why?
So I don't know if this is gonna sound bougie.
No, it's fine. I
But
might
I
be
just-
Don't worry,
bougie
I'm
too.
bougie.
This whole thing.
'cause-
So I've never been to Coachella, right? But if I do go to Coachella, I would do the luxury stuff.
Okay.
I think
would-
I think honestly, having experienced VIP, at least for me, I feel like it was definitely a different experience
Right.
than not having it.
Than not
honestly,
having it, yeah.
Honestly,
I-
especially in the heat. Whew.
Right. Well, that's so I sweat like crazy. I'm not gonna be out there sweating. You know, I've gone to a
Yeah.
couple of festivals already, and
yeah,
I'm like,
I've
it's
gone to one with
exhausting.
you. We
Yeah.
had Broccoli Fest.
Broccoli
we went to
Fest.
this together. Yeah.
You know, the lines for food are too long.
Yeah.
For the restrooms, it's just people stink. People,
Ugh.
people are
Yeah.
sweaty. It's like just,
That's why you have to be be drunk or high.
People get drunk.
right.
Like,
people
pick
get
your
high.
vice or be
Well,
both.
at Broccoli
during-
City.
You-
Broccoli.
I was tips. I was drinking.
I was high.
You was high. You was high. I was drunk. So, you know, when you have those vices, you don't really realize what is going
What's
on.
going on?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't
And
know,
so
it's not my
just-
thing.
It's not your thing.
No.
It's-
I'm
it's-
not. Honestly, I'd rather small venue stuff. Festivals
Yeah.
are exhausting. I honestly can't say that I've committed to a full 3-day festival. I feel like I always go
No.
home at some
No.
point
Hell
in
no.
time.
And the thing for me when it comes to the artists, right? I feel like, because I love music, right? And I love to like dissect different artists and kind of see them on a one-on-one or
Right.
like a more intimate venue.
Right.
It's like when you're in a festival, you can't connect with these people.
Yeah.
Not especially nowadays. Like nowadays, people go to a festival to Instagram every moment.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're not really
enjoying the experience.
enjoying the experience. So I saw Cardi B. I've seen Cardi B a number of times,
Yeah.
but I've seen her only in festivals. I'd love to go to her review
It's
in Vegas
different.
and what she's going to be doing
Yeah.
out there to kind of see her on a more
Right.
personal or something a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you
No, go ahead.
mentioned that we had an opportunity to go to a Gold Link Grammy party
yeah,
last
yeah.
year. And I want to say that experience was genius because when we got there, we had to put
your
our phone in a little pouch thing. And the whole night, the phone was locked. So we were forced to interact with each other. We were forced to listen to the music and just enjoy the experience. Like, if I can have that
Yeah.
at any other event, I would invest in that because I think that's genius because you're just able to live in the moment. And I think
Yeah.
we need to have more of those things.
It's important that you say that too because I remember back in college, I don't know if they're a band still, but the band Darwin D's, I went to go see them with our friend Chester. And when we went there, everyone has their phone out, their phone out. As the band is on stage, the drummer literally stopped drumming, tapped his drumstick like 5 times to get everyone to shut up. And then he was like, you guys have to understand that you're here for an experience. We work hard, we rehearse and put all this time into getting a good show for you. We've done X amount of shows back to back. We need you guys to be here and be present. I promise you, please, like, just make a promise to us that you will respect the space that we're in. And it was in like I don't know, like a small, like churchy. I think it was First Unitarian.
Was it First Unitarian?
I think it was First
Okay.
Unitarian, and
So you're basically sitting on the stage next to the drummer as he's
yeah, like we're
talking.
right there, and it's
Yeah,
like you
you're
gotta
right there.
imagine being on the stage and you looking out and all you see is phones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like are
You
people
know?
really paying attention to
Yeah,
me?
so he's
Are they?
exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, why are we working this
Or
hard
like
for
taking
you
a picture
guys?
and
Right.
posting, and then taking another
Yeah.
picture and down posting.
So ever
it, but-
since that moment, the moment the concert starts, I'll have my phone out, get my things, and I'm just like, okay, done. That's it.
Wow.
Because how many times are you really looking at this video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I just went to the Panic at the Disco concert because I love Panic at the
Dope.
Disco.
I love
them.
them.
And we went together. I caught myself. I recorded a lot of it, and I I like to look back at it, but I think about it. I'm like, damn, I want to go again, and like actually.
feel like you weren't
experience-
there.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because you were
That's
recording.
Very true.
Wow.
Yeah. I try to record my like favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, let me put my phone like, oh, I'm here. Let me take a picture. Oh, they're coming on stage. Okay, let me put my phone down. Let me see
Enjoy
what
the
they're gonna
moment.
do. Once I realize, okay, ooh, this is my song. Let me get like a verse,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just take a video and I'll put it away, and I will post it or look at it later and post it later.
Yeah.
Because it is hard. Like just having your phone out the whole
Yeah.
time is you're not really paying attention. I'm looking at my phone to make sure that the camera's in the right section
Right.
and I can see
Yeah.
and the lights in. Now I got to change the lighting because
Yeah.
it's dark. Like you're not paying attention
You're
at
not.
all.
Yeah, I like it. Like I like to say, social media is one hell of a drug.
It definitely is.
It is a hell of a drug, so you have to, take it wisely.
Watching this document, one of my other questions, we can wrap up here too. What is your opinion on influential, the influential culture and how people are
Yes.
just,
Because
that whole
now
thing?
the models who appeared in the promo video, like Chanel Iman and
Kendall
Kendall
Jenner.
Jenner and Bella,
Hadid.
Bella Hadid.
Haley, I think.
Haley Baldwin.
Haley Bieber now.
Right.
True.
She changed her last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Of course. They're all being subpoenaed now.
Right.
So they have to talk about what they got in payment. They have to release all that information. So just what Joey said with all this whole influencer culture and their involvement, how do you feel about that? And do you feel that an influencer should be responsible for what they promote?
Yeah, what they're influencing.
So it's a two-part answer, right? The whole influencer culture, I think the word influencer is overused.
Yes.
I think that now with social media and the access that everyone has, everyone wants to be an
Yeah.
influencer.
And
Everyone thinks that they're an
everybody
influencer.
Yeah.
What people don't
Public
realize
figure.
is that the four of us here are influencers in our own right. I look at my social media numbers, and I've been doing this recently because after the documentary came out, I've been getting all these new followers and people that I don't know. So I go in, but even before this, I would go in and I'll see the impressions and all these things that I really don't understand. But the numbers were high, at least for me. I was like, oh my God, these many people, people look for me, people that are not even my friends come onto my profile. Like, this is really, if you really start digging deep, and we've made it a thing to be an influencer, and you have to have 10K plus 10,000 plus followers in order to be an influencer. But do you?
No.
Do you? Are those? I probably reach more people than the person that has 10,000 followers.
More quality
Right.
people too.
Exactly, more quality people,
Yeah.
people that are actually genuinely interested in what it
Right.
is that I'm putting out there.
That's perfect.
So the whole influencer thing is like, whatever. I really don't care.
Right.
When it comes to what's going on with these models and them being held accountable or whether it's right or wrong, I'm a little perplexed when it comes to that for two reasons. One, you're getting paid to do something,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So here, you get $250,000 to post this on your thing. Cool. That's it. That my only job is to post it.
Yes.
What happens after this is none of my. I could
Yeah, it's not my business.
be like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
good. Let's go. But at the same time, thinking from a brand standpoint, if the Curated Vibes Group brand is getting paid $250,000 to promote something, I want to make sure that the people that are seeing that, the people that follow us, know that this is something of quality.
Right.
So, as a professional, I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure that this is legit. So, that's why I'm a little perplexed, because you can go both ways.
Yeah.
Right.
Do your
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Well, Felix, thank you so much
you.
for being on the show today. This was a very, powerful conversation. I hope the listeners were able to get an inside scoop of, behind the background of the Fyre Festival. So before we wrap up, can you please, we were just talking about social media. I know it's a little redundant, but, if people wanted to get to know you more or even interested in Curated Vibes or even would like to hire you, please, can you drop your plug?
So I'm on Instagram. I think it's the one that I check the most.
Okay.
And that would be Felix_Vargas, Vargas. I have a lisp, so you're probably going to hear that.
That's why.
Yes.
And then Curated Vibes Group. So it's just at Curated Vibes Group on Instagram as well. You can reach out through either platform.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I learned so much. I feel like I
Right?
got the insights.
I know, right?
Yes.
As you were telling the stories, I'm like, okay, now we just landed. Okay, and then
Yeah.
No,
well,
really?
I mean, I don't know if I could say this on here now.
Yeah.
But you know that the Hulu one was supposed to be a docuseries. So I filmed what, about 6-7 hours for Hulu?
Wow.
Literally from beginning to end. I sat in that chair and just gave my entire story. And I think that they were trying to get it out before Netflix got
Yes.
theirs out, so they just condensed it to an hour.
They
and a half.
did.
And the narrative of the Hulu one was going to be completely different. I can't talk about it, but it was something that, it was not what you saw. And when it first came out, I was upset, and I even emailed the producers. I was like, "This is not
What
you told me
Yeah.
we were going to be
Yes,
doing or whatever."
right.
And then I literally watched it like 4 times, and I was like, "It was actually kind of good." So
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Right.
because like us having not known that,
Right.
we got what we needed
Yeah.
for the most part.
Well, I felt
So-
both. I felt both presented different information
Aspects, yeah. of
which is
this.
why I watched both.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was interesting to see.
For anyone who didn't watch it though, Hulu first and then Netflix.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So now I'm gonna watch.
That's
Netflix
how I
then.
watched it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if they'll use that footage in something else, or is this like stale now? I wonder.
I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, there's so much
I would
more.
like for them to release it or give. I'll buy it. I don't care. It's just-
Yeah,
Let me
there
get the
was-
footage. Just let me get
There was
yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
so many underlying things
Yeah.
in this festival that obviously none of the films, documentaries touched on. So yeah,
maybe they'll make a movie.
maybe.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
call me.
thinking like it should be like exactly could be a producer.
I
Right?
think I think they could keep a series going.
Yeah, they
if
could,
really
yeah.
They
wanted
did
to.
it with, well, not to bring him up every episode, but the whole R. Kelly thing got a docu-series. Like,
Right.
this is important.
Listen,
Like,
we just finished watching that yesterday.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
We had a whole episode for
I
it. We're
know.
like,
I listened to it this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
That one and the last one too.
oh, yeah, thank you.
Couldn't talk about yes, that was a tough one.
listening.
Thank you for
Thank
listening.
you.
All right, well, we got to wrap up.
Yes.
So yes, okay. So it's been Views from the Chicks. It's T.
It's Joey.
And Quana.
We out.
Bye.
Peace.